Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Andy Ruiz has officially signed with Al Haymon and heads to the PBC. Now, Andy Ruiz is a very good heavyweight. He has a lot of power. He has very fast hands. And he's a relatively overall good fighter in pretty much every area. And so if we look at Andy Ruiz, he's basically an undefeated fighter, but he has taken one loss. And the reason why I say basically an undefeated fighter, because he has that one loss that he has taken was controversial. It was a unanimous decision loss to Joseph Parker. And there's a lot of people that felt that Andy Ruiz won that fight. I think it was a very close fight, and I think it could have went either way. I would have been even okay with a draw. I think Andy Ruiz Jr. is a very good fighter who doesn't always get the credit he deserves. He was stuck on Top Rank for a while, and according to BoxingScene.com, he basically bought out the remainder of his contract with Top Rank and moved over and signed with the PBC. He's had points in his career where his weight has been an issue, where he's ranged from the high 280s to the low 240s. And so, it's just, we're not sure exactly what Andy Ruiz is going to come in because his weight fluctuates. His most recent fight, he came in at about 250, 251, 252. So that's about a good weight for him. Since Al Haymon has a lot of the new and upcoming fighters, there was only two platforms Andy Ruiz could sign with that would ultimately be beneficial for him. And the two platforms would either be Matchroom Boxing or the PBC. Top Rank and Golden Boy, they just didn't have enough guys to make it interesting for a top heavyweight to want to go to. So if you look at Andy Ruiz, his choice was going to Matchroom, and he could fight a big baby Jarrell Miller, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua. He could sign, with the PBC, and he could fight a lot of other guys. He could fight Deontay Wilder in a huge domestic fight. He could fight Dominic Brazil, Efe Ajagba, Joe Joyce, Gerald Washington, Charles Martin, Adam Kalinowski, Michael Hunter, and Luis King Kong Ortiz, plus a lot more. So he has a lot of options with the PBC. And even with the PBC and Matchroom, these guys can get these fights made. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at it, these guys have no issues getting fights made with the PBC and Matchroom Boxing. The only times that these guys have issues with getting fights made is when it comes to the big fights. And I've noticed that about the PBC, they're willing to make the small fights, but they're not willing to make the big fights. So I could see the PBC wanting to put Andy Ruiz in any big fight, and I could see Matchroom Boxing willing to take that. Because, if you look at it, Andy Ruiz is a top-level opponent, a top-level contender, in my opinion. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's massively underrated and doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I think that if he has a couple good outings with the PBC, I think that he could even challenge, Deontay Wilder for his world title. I think that'll be great. But we don't even know how long Deontay Wilder is going to hold on to that belt, especially with the potential rematch with Tyson Fury looming. So this is a great time for the heavyweight division. I think Andy Ruiz Jr. made a great move by signing with the PBC, because ultimately it's going to benefit his career in the long term. He has several opponents, and he can build his name, and he can become a star in the sport of boxing, because Andy Ruiz has the skills, has the power, has the speed, and even has the stamina for a big guy to keep going and going. So Andy Ruiz Jr., be on the lookout for him signing with the PBC. Great move. Once again, Unbiased as always is the Ibfp. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.